Family goes, oh, na, na, na. Oh, na, na, na.
Purchase your
Come kick it with the Casey's. All that love and all those babies. C-A-S-C-Y. Welcome to the life. Welcome. C-A-S-C-Y. DJ Envy and Gia, oh, oh. It's time to kick it with the Casey's. You're tuned into the Casey crew.
What up, y'all? It's DJ Envy.
And I am Gia Casey.
And this is another edition of the KC Crew.
Welcome. Hello, beautiful people.
How are you guys doing? How are you feeling?
Thank you for coming over. I'm feeling great.
That's
How
good.
are you feeling?
I'm feeling wonderful.
Good.
Now, don't forget, you can always email us if you have questions, comments, complaints. You can DM us. The email is thekcrew@gmail.com. That's THEEKCrew@gmail.com. We have an anniversary coming up in a little
Yes, we
couple of
do.
weeks.
What you got special planned for me?
What you got special planned for me?
Something.
Huh?
I have. You didn't expect that, huh?
No, I did not.
I do have something special planned for you.
Because I'm tired of courting you. I feel like you should be courting me now.
I don't think the courting process ever ends.
Exactly. And
You will never relinquish your courting responsibilities.
But now I'm at the big old age where I want to be courted.
I think that there can be a little bit of co-courting
'Cause
going
now,
on.
Like once you turn 30,
I can be a
you wanna
co-courter.
courted. And I want to be courted now.
Once you turn how old?
30.
That ship has sailed.
I sailed and gone.
Yes.
That's sailed. Well, today's episode, we want to talk about courting. And this comes from a conversation that, like I told you, if you listen to the podcast, if you tell Gia something, I know. If you tell me something, Gia knows.
Well, remember, listen, my friends know what it is, and they
Okay.
look forward to your advice.
Okay.
So, if they tell me not to tell you something, I respect their wishes. Listen, that was a time for another podcast many, many moons ago. We're not going to rehash.
That's right.
But this time, I was asked to confide in you
Mhm.
to find out what your thoughts and feelings were.
Now, let's start the conversation because
This is going to be like the email of the week.
Right. Well, we have emails.
But it's my friend's email.
We missed email last week. So this is something that's funny because as soon as I heard it, I know exactly what it is. And what you women have to understand is this thing, right? That you don't want to understand. Cover your ears. Cover your ears. I'm serious. Cover your ears. Cover your ears.
Okay, sure.
Cover your ears. If you have a guy friend, and I mean a real guy friend, not a guy friend that's trying to holler, not a guy friend that's into you, not a guy friend that thinks you cute. I'm talking about a guy friend, like a guy friend.
Can I
And they-
cover my ears?
No. And they tell you something, it's usually because of many different reasons. One, they know because they have friends. Two, they know because they've been in that situation. Three, they just know neighbors. All right, now start the conversation.
Wait, what was 1, 2, and 3 again?
Nope, not gonna tell you. Now let's talk about your friend who is dating and
Mhm.
she's being allegedly courted.
Well, she wants your opinion.
Okay, let's hear this.
And she said, go ahead and share it on the podcast because she's also interested in your opinion. So leave a comment, send an email. You can send your advice. You can get in his BUTT if you want to, but we're about to spill some business.
Now, before we do, I just want to let you know, all the women that are around me, I always tell the brutally honest truth. And usually they get mad at me. They have attitudes. They give me the middle finger. They say whatever. And then a month later, I'm right.
I mean, that's why it's important to have a female point of view and a male point of view.
Okay, go.
So I have a friend
You have a friend.
who started dating this guy
Yes.
about 4 months ago,
Okay.
give or take. And he started out on a good foot. I mean, she was singing this boy's praises and really thought that it was going to go the distance based on everything that he was saying earlier on, like
Right.
thinking that potentially he could have been the one. Then, as time went on, and not too much time, because like I said, it's only been 4 months, it seems as though those things that we were loving about him in the beginning started to fade away. So let me tell you. So a few things started irritating her. I'm not going to get into details about those things, but let's start with the first thing. that I'm going to share. She makes him a meal.
I have to stop you.
What?
Before the meal,
What? Okay.
when they first started dating, he was a gentleman. Are you going to go to that part?
I said that.
And how he knows what he wants and this, that, and the other?
Well, if you want to go into detail, feel free.
Okay. Well, this gentleman said he knows what he wants when he wants a woman. He wants to make sure he is the knight in shining armor, and that, when they go anywhere, he's just going to give her the credit card and say, "Do you, boo," and I'll just take care of it. That was the things that he said and he sold, correct?
Something more so like I'm the type of guy that when it comes to planning trips or anything like that, I just give you the credit card and tell you, just go ahead and handle it.
Right.
Like
take care of
I
everything.
pay for it. You just bear the expense of time and having to create the itinerary and things of that nature. Like, that'll be your burden. My burden will be the finances. Essentially, is what he said.
Now, let me just ask you a question. I'm just asking for context. Did he say these things before he smashed?
He did say these things before he smashed.
Okay, continue on. I'm listening.
I can't stand you. So everything is going decently.
Mhm.
A few little hiccups, but they're going decently. And one day she says, "Okay, I'm going to make you dinner."
This before he smashed or after he smashed?
This was after he smashed.
So he didn't smash.
He done smashed.
He done smashed.
He done, he done smashed.
So he didn't car sales the pussy.
I don't know about all of that.
Car sales.
I can simply concur that the smashing had taken place.
Okay, now let me break down what a car salesman of the vagina is. Now, shout out to all the car salesmen out there. Listen, I know you hate when I say that.
Is he selling cars or vaginas?
I'm going to tell you. So car salespeople, they will try to sell you anything. A lot of them will. There's some great ones out there, but a lot of them will tell you anything you want to know about the car, right? You go into a store to buy a brand new car, they be like, "This car can fly. This car does 0 to 60 in 1 second. This car has airbags everywhere. Service is free." And then when you get in the car, it breaks down and you can't even call anybody. That's what I call car sales.
You call and nobody picks up?
Right. So he sold to get the vagina. "I will do this. I will do that. I will do this. Oh, yeah, you want to go to South Africa or Johannesburg and you want to fly private? I got you. Oh, you want to do this? I got you. Don't worry about anything. I'll pick you up from work every day and I'll lay my jacket down so your feet never have to touch the ground."
Is that how you got me?
Maybe, but go ahead. But go ahead. So
okay. So, like I said, we get to this one night and she says, "I'm going to make you dinner."
Mm-hmm.
So she goes and she gets the fish. She gets a bag of shrimp. Okay. And he comes over.
Okay.
He goes into the room and takes a nap while she's cooking.
All right. He might have been tired, but go ahead.
We're too early for you to go and take a nap while I'm spending 2 hours in the kitchen cooking. If I'm cooking, you should be there like at the bar or at the counter in the kitchen or in the family room, like right where I can see you, where we can converse and have a good time while I'm cooking. Do you know what I mean? Like, you shouldn't be in the room sleeping while I'm in the kitchen cooking and I basically feel like I'm doing a job.
Not necessarily. And I'll stop you right there. If we already smashed, we were intimate already. No, I'm being honest. We were already intimate. So now, if I worked hard, I worked a double.
I didn't say that he worked hard.
Well,
and I didn't say that he worked a double shift.
I'm just saying.
I just said he came over and went to sleep. You're adding.
He was probably tired.
Context that didn't exist.
But you don't know. You don't know if that's true or not.
I mean, I'm sure she was tired too. They both have a similar type of job.
He's tired.
They both work similar hours. So I'm sure that she was just as tired as he was. Because she's always tired.
But he wants to be, if you want him to be comfortable, he could have took that nap at home and then came over later, but he wanted to spend time. So he said, "Hey."
You just going to make that up?
I'm just thinking, I'm going to take a little nap. You're going to cook and then we'll get up and eat together. So let me take this little nap because I got work. So go ahead.
None of that happened. He just went in the room and went to sleep.
I'm not mad at that. He took a nap, not sleep.
If you are
Difference.
just entering, no, he went to sleep. If you're just entering a relationship with somebody, I don't feel like you've gotten to that point of comfortability yet. If I'm making you a meal and you're at my house while I'm making that meal, you should be there to keep me comfortable.
But you don't know why he was tired.
You should be there to keep me comfortable.
He might have been out all night. He might have been really tired and said, "You know what? I'm going to take a nap and then we'll eat together and then we'll have the rest of the night. I need a recharge. How many times do I need to recharge?
Then he should have come, but we've been married. So you can sleep. I'll serve you your dinner in bed if that's what you like, because you've earned that. I don't think that he's earned the right to leave her in the kitchen, slaving away to cook them a meal while he just sleeps. Because to me, that's almost like taking someone for granted too early. You can take me for granted on certain occasions because you have earned that. Like, it is for granted. It's not your mistake. It is granted. In his situation, put it this way, the fact that she did not like it meant that he was taking it for granted because she did not grant that.
Okay, we can agree to disagree.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
We can agree to disagree because we don't know the full details, but I'm not necessarily mad at that nap. But go ahead.
Okay.
Continue.
Okay. Let us know what you think. So she gets a bag of shrimp
Right.
and a few pieces of fish. Shrimp and fish are pricey right now.
Okay, yes, that's true. Facts.
Yes. When he comes over, before he takes that nap, he says to her, oh, like a bag of shrimp? Nah, I usually eat like fresh shrimp.
Okay.
Like the type of shrimp that when you go to the fish bar that they weigh by the pound.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like he wanted that type of shrimp.
I'm not mad at that either.
You've got to be kidding me.
I'm gonna tell you why.
That just feels like ungratefulness.
Nah.
Like you're gonna get what I bought and what I'm cooking for you. If you want that, then go to the seafood spot. Go to the steakhouse.
This is what we can do, babe. We don't do that. Here's a couple $100. Here, go get something a little better. I know you're not used to that, but this is what I'm used to. Give me some real shrimp. I'm not mad at that.
You think you're fly. And he definitely didn't do that. He definitely didn't do that. Not only did he pseudo complain about the type of shrimp she bought, he didn't offer to pay for the replacement shrimp.
You know why?
Nor the shrimp or the fish that she had already bought.
Because he smashed already. But go ahead, continue on. I swear, if he didn't smash, that nigga would have came with all types of shrimp. He would have had hot shrimp, buffalo shrimp, spicy shrimp. He would have had virgin shrimp. He would have had kung pao shrimp. He would have had salt and pepper shrimp. He'd have had jerk shrimp. He would have had all types of shrimp. But he smashed already. So go ahead.
Okay. So she kindly left and went and got the type of shrimp that he preferred. So she makes the dinner while he sleeps.
What's that Steve Harvey thing? He's just not into you. But go ahead.
Stop it. Too soon for that.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Let me get like 3 or 4 examples in and then maybe you could say that.
Okay, all right, good. Okay. I'm listening.
All right. So she makes the meal.
Mm-hmm.
Ladies, what's the worst thing that can happen when you slave away in the kitchen and make a meal for a man? What's the worst thing that can happen? He sits there.
She dropped it on the floor?
Eats your food. And says nothing. So she's sitting there biding her time like, so is he going to say something about the food? He does not. So she says to him, so how do you like the food? How's the food?
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, oh, nah, it's good. Just like that. Oh, nah, it's good. Oh, nah, it's good. That's kind of like a backhanded compliment. Like someone that says to you, I must say, you look nice today. What do you mean you must say? Did someone put a gun to your head? What do you mean you must say? Like under duress, with no other options. I have to say, you look nice today. And that's how she took it. Nah, it's good. So she was like, nah, it's good. Like, and listen, she doesn't cook every day, but when she cooks well.
Can I say one thing?
What?
Food tastes better before you smash. After you smash, it might not taste as good.
You know, you're the worst.
Because maybe the food was trash. And he just...
No, it definitely wasn't.
How you know?
Because I've tasted her cooking.
Okay, all right.
I know for damn sure that she knows how to season, and that's half the battle.
Okay, all right. So
I'm sure that the food was good. And and I'm a tough crowd. She cooks well.
Okay.
Nah, it's good. So she was like, what do you mean, nah, it's good? He said, I mean, you know, for someone that doesn't cook much, it's good. Her actual response was, what? And she was like, well, I happen to think that this is restaurant quality good. He was like, yeah, now you're doing too much.
That's what he said?
That's what he said. He's like, yeah, now you're doing too much. She said, what do you mean I'm doing too much? He was like, I mean, you're badgering me. You asked me how the food was. I said it was good. Like, basically, what more do you want from me? Blood?
Well, that's a fact. He might not have liked it. And if it's his choice to say, you know what, it's just cool.
Well, let me ask you a question, Rashawn.
Mm-hmm.
Had you been in that situation, let's say that the food was mid, which it wasn't, but let's just say that it was.
Mm-hmm.
And we're in a new relationship. And I asked, no, hell, we're married or together 30 years.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say it happened last week. And I ask you, how's the food? The food. Are you going to tell me that it's mid?
If it wasn't good, yeah.
You wouldn't.
I would. If you cook something I didn't love, I'll be like, nah, I don't really love it. And I'll tell you, baby, it was too salty, or baby, I didn't like this. I would tell you. We haven't had that situation, but if I did something, for instance, perfect example.
This happened?
Yes.
I'm listening.
I cooked you eggs.
Oh, okay.
Oh, it's me. But now you
I was about to say, when have I ever made a meal that you didn't love?
You see the bullshit? She could tell me that she didn't like my meal.
Well, I don't really remember what you're talking about.
One day I cooked eggs and you was like, baby, you know, there was just a titch running. Can you cook them a little harder?
That's not a criticism.
It is.
No, it's a critique.
It's a critique, not a criticism. This is the same. You critique me.
It's.
I left with my fucking tail between my legs. I cooked your meal and you ate it and you said, baby, this is runny, and then you didn't eat it all.
No. Like, for instance, you can make me a ribeye and I like my ribeye medium and you could have made it medium rare. And then when you say, babe, how was the food? I can say, hey, babe, it was medium rare. I prefer my steak medium. You know.
I mean, but that just means you didn't like it.
No, it just means that you have to cook a little bit longer.
Didn't like
that's not a judgment on.
You didn't like it.
On your cooking.
And I was fine with that.
On my preference.
But I was fine with you being honest. So when I cooked you those eggs again, I made it the right way. I wasn't mad the fact you said.
But if I told, okay, let's be real. If you made me those same eggs and you said, hey, baby, how'd you like my eggs? And I said, it was mid.
I would be like, well,
no. Let's be honest.
I would be
That's what this is about.
I would be like, what would make them better?
Okay. And then I told you, how would you feel?
Next time I will make them better.
I didn't ask you what you would do next time. I asked you, how would you feel?
I wouldn't feel anyway.
You are a dirty, dirty liar. How dare you?
I'm going to tell you why.
Rashawn, let me tell you something.
I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to tell you why.
You're going to tell me why you're lying?
No, I'm not lying. I'm going to tell you why. There's certain things that I make that I know are banging. And if you told me those things were not good, then I would feel away. I don't make how do you call them, eggs?
I like my eggs over medium.
I don't make over 80. Like, I don't know how to make them. I just started making them because you like them. That's not my forte. That's not my specialty. Now, if you said my scrambled eggs and cheese was whack.
Okay.
Or if you said my omelets were whack. If you said my French toast, my bacon, my sausage was whack.
Yes.
Then we have a problem because I know my shit is banging.
All right. So let's make it analogy appropriate. Let's say I said that your omelet was mid. Or that your bacon was mid. How would you feel?
Feel like you bumped your head.
Because apparently it couldn't possibly be true.
Never.
No,
not my bacon.
No, but let's be real. Like, let's say, okay, but let's say I said that to you. I was like, yeah, no, the omelet, it's usually better. It's usually better.
I'll say, fuck you and your omelet.
Exactly. He would be so hurt because as long as we have been together, when he makes me breakfast, and he gives me breakfast in bed every Sunday morning, and he brings it up to my room, and he puts it on the bed, he's damn near peeking out the side of the doorway to see what my expression is when I eat his food.
Because I get busy.
Mind you, I've been eating his food. You've probably been making that for me for 25 years, okay?
I get busy.
And if he goes back downstairs to feed the kids, he will call me and say, hey, baby, how is my food? And I have to say, oh my gosh, it was amazing. Like, literally, you put the perfect amount of cheese in it.
It's the truth.
Like, I have to say it
but you don't lie.
every single time. And I don't lie.
That's right.
And I wouldn't lie. And your food is always amazing because he is the breakfast king.
Correct.
But I just want to get to you telling me how you would feel if you were my friend in that situation, knowing how seriously you take your food when you make it for me.
I mean, yeah, I would be a little upset.
Would you be a little upset? Would you be hurt? Would it be argument worthy? Like, let's be real.
If it was something that I cooked that I usually get busy with, yes, I would be very upset. But if it's something that I was trying for the first time or just trying,
can you stop moving the goalpost? We're talking about one thing.
Which one?
Something that you make
all the time?
Enough that you know was good.
I'll be pissed. Or I feel like you have COVID because you don't have no taste buds. But go ahead.
Can we just stay on track?
I'm on track.
I just want you to answer the question directly. your food that you make well,
Yeah, I would be mad.
that you know it was good.
I would be mad.
Okay, he would be mad. Would your feelings be hurt?
A little bit.
And now let's see if you can be really honest. Would you have an attitude?
Of course.
Okay, he would absolutely have an attitude. So she had an attitude. So then they further argued about the fact that she had an attitude. I personally think that even if the food was trash, as a person that you're in a new relationship with, you would never desecrate them like that.
Mhm.
Like you would never say that. Like I think you have to get to a certain level of comfortability before you start criticizing someone's food.
I'll tell you is the reason why. He got the vagina. That's going to be the name of this podcast. He got the vagina already.
Right.
Okay.
So that was a smaller thing.
Mhm.
Now, before that meal was made, they had plans to go out of the country.
Yep.
He invited her on a trip, and he said that he was going to take care of everything, as Ashawn alluded to before. Just make the plans. I'm going to hand you over the credit card. You're going to take care of it.
One question.
One answer.
Was this before he got the vagina? All this matters, was it?
It was before.
Okay, go ahead. Continue.
Okay. So they're planning the trip. She puts the flights on her credit card, expecting to be reimbursed.
Rookie move.
And I don't know why she initially put it on her credit card,
Rookie.
because remember, he was supposed to be taking care of it. Then when it got a little bit longer in the tooth of planning, and I think the hotels had to be booked, it comes up that he's expecting her to pay for half of the trip. Yes, gasp. And she said, "What do you mean? You're expecting me to pay for half of the trip?" And he said, "Oh, no, I thought that was understood." And she said, "Why would it be understood when you flat out told me that you were going to pay for the trip?" "Nah, I wanted to split the hotel and the air, but I was planning on paying for everything once we got there."
Nope. What he thought was he was going to smash there. So he would have paid for it when he was going to smash there.
You know,
But since he smashed at home, he ain't got to pay for that trip anymore. So we ain't got to go there. We can go to Brooklyn. I'll pay for that trip.
so she told him that if she had to pay for half of the trip, that she wasn't going. Because at this point, she can't afford to pay for half of a trip.
Mhm.
She was happy to go when it was being taken care of because it would be of no expense to her. But now that you're imposing an expense upon me, I can't go. So he said, "All right, in that case, let's go to Atlantic City instead." So the trip gets moved to Atlantic City.
Okay.
He had to go to a nearby state. There's certain details I'm going to be elusive about on purpose. He had to go to a nearby state. And he was there. And he calls her and says, "Hey, would you mind meeting me in Atlantic City?"
2.5 hours drive.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
And she was like, "What?" Because that's what she does. That sounds like her, right? "What?" And she said, "So you want me to drive 2.5 hours to Atlantic City?" He said, "Yeah, because I drove to the state nearby and, it's right there. So I would have to come back to New York to come get you and then go back. So, can you just meet me there?" She said, "I am not meeting you in Atlantic City." A, of course she doesn't want to make that drive. And B, I'm sure she doesn't want to drive by herself. I wouldn't want to drive by myself. Part of road tripping with somebody is the actual road trip, is actually being on the highway, talking, conversing, having a good time and enjoying each other's company.
But I will say, and I'm looking at both sides. If I'm 30 minutes away from the destination, right?
Yes.
That means I got to drive 2 hours back to New York and then 2.5 hours to Atlantic City, 4.5 hours.
Mm-hmm. Then guess what? You should have thought about that when you decided to go to that nearby state that was 30 minutes away from Atlantic City, when you knew that you had to be in Atlantic City that following day.
Things happen.
Right or wrong?
Right, but things happen.
Okay, so our plan was already in motion. You made that decision. Don't make that decision and then turn around and try to inconvenience me based on a decision that you could have made or not made. you made that choice, then you must choose to come back to New York and get me so that we can drive together. Right or wrong?
Now, if I was the gentleman, I would have been like, hey, babe, I'm 30 minutes away. I'm dead tired. If I drive 2 hours to come get you and then 2.5 hours back, I'm probably going to fall asleep. Would you mind driving and meeting me? What's wrong with that? I don't see nothing wrong with that.
See, it all goes back to what you have already earned in a relationship.
But can I say one thing?
Yes.
If he didn't get the vagina, he would have drove.
Why do I keep falling?
He would have drove and got the pussy. I'm serious. He would have drove to Africa and got it.
Oh my gosh.
But since he got it already, he's already got a taste of it. He's like,
is it that serious? Can we sidebar for a second? Because you keep talking about this hemisphere of the body. Is it really that important for a man?
Yes, because
it's that important.
It's a game.
That you're willing to play games.
Yes.
That you're willing to lie, steal, cheat, represent yourself a certain way in the beginning and then show up as your true self later on? Like, is it worth doing all of that for?
Yeah, a lot of guys, I'm not going to say most guys, but a lot of guys, when they want to court a woman or they want to get a woman, they want to smash. So they're going to say...
Is that really...
A lot of guys, yes.
What it's about?
Yeah, they want to smash.
You don't think it's about getting to know someone and... That's funny? Okay. About enjoying their company.
Maybe that comes after time, but the first thing I think a dude thinks is he wants to smash.
Is that the first thing? Like, let's be realistic. Is that the first thing that you think when you see a woman that you're attracted to? It goes immediately to smashing? Okay, I can understand seeing someone and saying, oh, she's beautiful, or oh, he's handsome. But does your mind go immediately to, damn, I want to see what she looks like naked?
If a guy ever says, hey, oh my gosh, she's beautiful, I would love to read Shakespeare with her because she seems like she has the intelligence of so-and-so. That's bullshit.
Nobody said all of that.
Somebody sees a girl and be like, God damn, she's fat. She got a fat ass. I want to fuck. Oh my gosh, look at them titties. I want to knock it off. Did you see that camel toe? Oh, shoot. Did you see this steady? But like, that's what a guy thinks. So now when I see this girl, I'm like, oh, I want to smash. She's into what? Oh, she's into bags. She's into trips. I'm going to say whatever I have to say to smash. That's what, I'm not going to say most dudes, but a lot of dudes are. And what happens? They play off of your insecurities or off of the things that you tell them.
Ladies, welcome to the intro to Game 101.
I'm being honest. So what's the first thing you do? What do most women do? They complain about their ex, right? Mm-hmm. They complain about things in their life that's not going right. Mm-hmm. So all the guy has to do is be the things that your ex wasn't. Right?
Sidebar. If I were in a new relationship, I would never tell the person that I'm newly in a relationship with about all the negative things about my ex.
That's you.
I would never.
That's
you know why? Because that kind of gives the impression that you weren't worth to your ex all the things that you were deprived of in that relationship.
Hold up. See, but also what you got to remember is when we're having conversations, men are going to ask, so what happened with your last man? How come it didn't work? Nobody's ever going to be like,
okay, I would be very evasive. I would say things along the lines of, it just didn't work out.
Why not?
Or we grew apart. Mm-hmm. And I would give very vague answers, but you wouldn't get from me, oh, he was a deadbeat dad, or he was cheap, or he was bad in bed, or any of the negative things that women complain. He didn't give me enough time. He didn't give me enough attention.
This is the
because what I feel that the new guy could potentially do is weaponize those things and say, oh, these are the things that he didn't do. Mm-hmm. I'm going to do those things. And it could be fake, number one. Or number two, feel as though he is my come up. Right. Or I lucked up by meeting him, or that he upgraded me.
You would be healed. Most women are not healed after a relationship. So most women are not healed. They still have regrets. They still feel away. So when you ask somebody and you say, well, what happened with your ex?
Save it for your friends. No, that's not for your new man.
Most women out there.
Not for your new man. Your new man's not your therapist.
Right. That's true. But
he's not.
Most women don't think like that.
Because most men are thinking like you, where they're going to use that information. And of course, there are men that can be genuinely curious, but they can subconsciously use that information. Like literally think in their minds that they upgraded you because you're better than what they're complaining about their ex.
All you got to say is, well, my ex doesn't compliment me enough. You know what I'm going to do every morning? I'm going to compliment you every morning. Hey, beautiful.
But this is the point.
Right?
Then it won't be
My
real.
ex
It'll
never
be
got me.
fake.
My ex never got me flowers. I'm gonna get you flowers, and I'm not saying women are stupid, but most women are so happy to get what they didn't have in the last relationship that they're happy. Oh my gosh,
Right.
Malcolm didn't get me flowers, but Jamal gets me flowers every day.
Exactly.
Malcolm didn't say I look beautiful, but Jamal, he compliments me every day. Malcolm didn't get me a wet rag after, but Jamal gives me a wet rag after. But that's how it is. But this is how men think. A lot of men think like that.
So I think that we're saying the same thing. Like what you're saying is complimenting what I'm saying.
Oh, absolutely.
Because what I'm saying is that's why you don't give them any information.
But your friend, I know she did it because I know her and I know she did it.
Okay, maybe she
Right
did.
or wrong?
I'm not going to confirm or deny. But they will show up in all of these ways that they would not normally have shown up. You're getting the fake them. You're getting their representative.
Of course.
I don't want your representative. I want to know, who are you? What are you genuinely and authentically made of?
You're going to get that after I smash. And this is what you're getting now. So continue with the story. He smashed. So go ahead. You're getting his real person. So where we at? Now we're at the, hey, I'm already close to Atlantic City. I don't want to drive 2 hours to get you in 2.5 hours back. So go.
So she tells him, yeah, no, I am not driving.
No, you actually said, she said, what?
After that, she said, no, I'm not driving to Atlantic City. So long story short, he came, he got her. Then when he came, well, not even that he got her, when he came, he said, okay, basically, I'm here. Now I want you to drive. I'm here. Now we're going to drive together, but I want you to physically drive. You don't got to come and meet me, but I want you to actually drive.
I'm tired.
And he wanted her to drive her car. Now, her car was a lease. The lease is almost up. For every over mile, as you guys may or may not know, you have to pay for every additional mile. So she's like, no, I'm not putting an extra 200-300 miles on my car, however many miles it is, and then having to pay for it. He has a car. And I'm sitting there like, she's telling me the story. And I'm like, what kind of man is this? You want, not only do you want me to drive like I'm the dude, but you want to take my car? Meanwhile, you have a car that's just mine. Why are we taking my car? Where's the masculinity in that?
Okay.
What do you think about that?
See,
because there's going to be some guys in the comments that's probably like, why they couldn't take her car? Doesn't her car work just as good as his car? I mean, why they got to take the man's car? Why the man always got to drive? I want you to answer that from a male point of view, because I think that I know where you stand.
I don't know all the details. I mean, maybe her car is better than his car. That could be one. Or he could just be tired. Like that's what you got to understand. If he is just freaking tired,
then they shouldn't be planning a trip to go to Atlantic City on an occasion where he is going to be tired. I think that's pretty.
He really don't want to go
plain
to
to
Atlantic
see.
City. He already smashed. He don't want to go to Atlantic City.
Can we
anymore.
get some real answers from you that's exclusive of smashing?
The reason he wants to go to Atlantic City is because he couldn't take it out the country and he has to do a trip. So he's fallen into, I have to do it. And I'd rather take the bitch to Atlantic City than take her anywhere else. So fuck it. Let's go to Atlantic City.
Okay. So this has nothing to do with him being tired.
This
has to do, can we not even talk about whether he was tired or not? Because I don't know if he was tired or not.
No, but this,
right?
But this is
he may or may not have been tired.
But this is the reason why I'm
asking you a straight question that I just want you to give me a straight answer without talking about whether he smashed or not, okay? I'm asking you, how do you feel that shows up by way of masculinity, by him asking her to drive and asking her to take her car on a trip that he planned and asked her to go on?
Now, you don't want to hear it, but it's a different opinion when I already got what I wanted. I already got what I wanted. So now it's like, for instance, me and you are married, right? If I'm courting you, I would never say, hey, babe, can you drive? But now I'm like, babe, you driving. I'm tired. Because not that I don't respect you. I'm not trying to court you already.
Right.
He's not trying to court her anymore. He already got her. So he feels that way. Now, if he was trying to court her, trying to make her feel special, he would thug it out. He'd go get a Monster Energy and thug it out.
Okay. So let's play devil's advocate.
Shout out to Monster Energy, who is actually a sponsor of the podcast. Salute to Monster. What up?
So let's play devil's advocate
I'm listening.
because I just want a cleaner answer. Let's take for granted that this has nothing to do with having had smashed or not.
Mhm.
Okay? Let's just say it has nothing to do with that.
Yes.
How do you feel about a man asking a woman to drive and to take her car
Yeah, no, he shouldn't.
on a trip
He shouldn't.
that he planned, or even if she planned it?
He should.
What do you? And I want to know why. What are your thoughts?
Well, I believe that in a relationship, I don't believe in the equal relationship. Men do men things, women do women things. And I think that's a man thing. That's just me, personally.
Okay. So basically, again, she says that she's not going if
Mhm.
she has to drive.
So he drives.
So he drives, they take his car. They get there. I guess they settle in. They do the do. I guess it was fine. Then they go to have dinner. So they go to a very nice steakhouse.
Okay.
Okay. And the waiter comes and takes the order.
Okay.
He orders what he orders, which was a piece of red meat. Okay. So he ordered a form of steak. She orders a ribeye.
Whoa.
Stop it. She orders a ribeye.
Nah, B. I already smashed. You can't have that. Better be with these finger foods. Little appetizer here, little calamari.
You can get about 2 appetizers.
Calamari chicken wings.
So she orders a ribeye.
Whoa.
So the waiter leaves and he says to her,
Bitch, are you crazy?
so actually what he said, that might have been what it was decoded, but the actual words were, so you're just going to order a $200 steak so that you could just sit there and look at it? Because we both know you ain't going to eat that whole steak.
And you know why he said that? He said that because he smashed already. If he didn't smash already,
First of
he would
all,
have ate it. Even if he felt that way, he would have ate it. But since he smashed already, he don't really give a fuck. He don't really care about her. He don't really want to date her. He not trying to win her.
and babe, what do you think she said when he said that?
Okay.
She was like, what?
What?
First of all, I've never seen a $200 ribeye. That ribeye was not $200. The only steaks that are $200 plus will be a tomahawk or a wagyu or something like that. But no plain ribeye, bone in or bone out is going to be $200.
Okay.
And we've been to some of the best. I've never seen just a ribeye for no good reason being $200. So he was wrong. And she confirmed that it was probably about $79.
Okay.
But he just is probably so unaccustomed to these types of restaurants that he didn't glance at that part. He didn't know how much. He probably just assumed that it was $200.
And you know why? Because he's probably used to Applebee's, Tony Roma's, Pizza Hut, Chick-fil-A, McDonald's, Domino's, places like that. But now here's this girl that I think I have to impress. So I got to make myself feel great, look great, so I can smash. She gave him the punani
You mean
too
again?
early. Yes.
Okay.
She gave him the punani too early. Too early. So now the true colors come out. And he's like, $200? What? Nah, B. It's not going to happen. Because he already smashed. He's showing her that, look, you're not worth it like this to me. I lied. I said I was going to do this. I said I was going to do that. I said I was going to do that. Why? Because I wanted to court you, because I wanted to smell your panties. After I smelled your panties, I realized I'm already in. I don't have to do this. And what you probably did is you probably told him everything that your ex was doing and everything that was happening. So he's using that against you because he feels like you ain't got nowhere to go. He knows you're not going back to your ex because you didn't told him all the things. And right now, I'm the only person you have to lean on. So now that I'm the only person to lean on, I could start stabbing you too. Nah, we're not doing that. Nah, I'm not driving. Nah, I'm not paying for half. Nah, you got to drive to Atlantic City. Nah, I'm not paying for that. I'm surprised he didn't make her pay half the bill.
Yo, that hurts. Everything you just said hurts because
It's true.
I think it's all true.
Did he make her pay half the bill?
So good job on being a man and identifying these things. No.
Oh, that's shocking.
But so let me just say, she was in utter and complete shock when that happened because that has never happened to her before.
Did she eat the steak?
And she is not that caliber of girl. Like she is
Did she eat the steak?
Like she is she's a winner.
You're not answering
You
my
know what I
question.
mean?
Did she order to eat the steak?
She wanted to eat the steak, but after that happened, she had already lost her
So he was
appetite.
right. He said you're not going to eat this fucking steak, and she didn't eat the fucking steak. So maybe
because
maybe he's a
he
magician.
put her in a mental space where she had completely lost her appetite and begrudged the steak. But she took it in a doggy bag. So after the meal was done and they're ready to leave, the check comes. He takes care of the check. He says to her, "This is so whack." He says to her, "So you want to know how much the bill was?"
You know what that means?
Yo.
You know what that means?
Man.
You know what that means?
What is it? No, I don't want to know what it means.
That means you're going to have to do some handstands on this dick tonight. Because if I paid all that, you're going to have to do some handstands, some flipping. You got to lick my balls. I'm going to have to put it in your ass. You're going to have to do all of that because of this bill.
So she doesn't answer. She remains quiet. He says that she just continues fiddling with whatever she was fiddling with. And he volunteers up. He was like, "Yeah, because it was $400. And I'm not saying, but they had drinks.
I was about to say pull his dick out right on the table like,
what you going to do about that?
What you going to do about that? Okay.
I mean, so if that were, well, you don't have a sister, but if that were your daughter in that situation, how would you want her to react? I think that's a better way of getting you to answer a question.
Oh, if my daughter was out with somebody and he said, "You want to know what the bill is?" and talked about the $200 steak that he ordered?
Yes.
If my daughter didn't have no money with her, I would send her money, Venmo it, here's my credit card, and hop in the Uber, bring your ass home. That's what it is. I don't give a like what?
No. She's more than capable of paying.
You just asked if that was my daughter.
No.
That's
I know.
what I would do.
I'm just saying, she's more than capable of paying.
If that was Mercedes, and Mercedes went in the back was like, "Yo, you know this?" Just said, "Did it?" I'm like, "Get an Uber right now. I'll pay for it." None of my friends. You're not gonna treat none of my friends like that.
Yeah. I think that she also didn't volunteer to pay for half of the bill or for any part of the bill, or at least what she ordered, because she didn't want to emasculate him in a sense by saying, "Well, you know what? I'll just pay for myself," or "We'll split the bill," or "I'll take care of what I ordered." It's a shame that it would have to come to that, but she didn't want to do that because she didn't want to insult him.
Right.
And she was in shock, and she was having a visceral reaction to what had just happened. So she needed a moment to get her mind right, you know? So then...
Well, that's bullshit, but go ahead.
What?
I need a minute to get my mind right. No, you act right.
Have you ever been shocked by some information that someone laid out in front of you and you didn't know what to do with it?
No.
Neither have I, but I can relate.
No.
I can understand that can happen to somebody.
My reaction is always, I'm going to do it and take care of it regardless. Like that's how it always is. Like if something happens, I handle it right then and there. I'm not going to let you see me sweat, and I'm going to keep it moving.
Okay. I have been around people that, have you ever been out with a friend or people that you know, a family member, something like that, and someone says something disrespectful to them or offends them, insults them, and they're just standing there at a complete loss for words because no one possibly has ever spoken to them in that way before, where they don't know what to do, they don't know what to say, they don't know how to react. Some people will be so clueless that they'll laugh in a state of panic, like, you know, or some people will just flee, you know, fight or flight. They flee because they don't know how to handle confrontation or shock or anything like that. So I just think that she didn't know how to handle the situation in the moment.
All right.
You know what I mean? So they're away together. She didn't want to ruin the entire trip. He goes to play whatever game it is that he plays. And she's just sitting around like waiting, you know, like, and for a good portion of the time, he left her alone while he went and gambled. So she goes upstairs to go and sleep. Now he comes in at whatever time. And it's supposed to be a little bit of a romantic getaway. And we've gone to Atlantic City and Vegas on trips and whatnot. I love those trips. I love to play blackjack and things like that. So typically, if we go to Atlantic City or Vegas, we will go, we'll eat well, we'll gamble, we'll go back to the room, have a romantic time. We'll see a show. We'll see a comedy show. It's a you and me thing the entire time, and we're both enjoying it equally. Basically, he kind of left her the impression that this trip was for him, and she was just kind of tagging along. Yeah, I'm going to go to the table. I'm going to go play. Like, basically, you go do you. So she went back up to the room. She went to sleep. The next morning, he wakes her up at about 8 o'clock in the morning. And he's like, come on, let's go get breakfast. She's like, we're away on a trip. It's 8 a.m. Like, I don't want to get up early, at least not this early, on an away trip. Like, I don't want to have breakfast right now. I'm not hungry. I'm still in La La Land. So he's like, all right, I'm going to go get something to eat and then I'm going to go gamble. You call me when you're up and ready and da-da-da. So she gets up, she gets ready. She comes downstairs at about 11:30. She's like, all right, yeah, like I'm down here. I'm starving now. So I want to grab a bite to eat. So you want to meet me at blah, 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 whatever restaurant she was going to go to. He was like, so why would I just come and watch you eat?
Dang.
She was like, what? And she was thinking to herself, like, so you're not going to come and join me for a meal unless there's something in it for you? Like, forget about conversation. Forget about enjoying my company. Forget about we're away together and this is what you should just do, right? Like, how could you possibly think that this is okay? So she said to him, I'm going to have a Philly cheesesteak at this restaurant, but the waiter told me that it's way too big for just one person to consume. So why don't you come meet me and you can eat half of it? You know what he said? Be right there. So
free meal.
Essentially. So he goes and he sits down, he eats the half of the Philly cheesesteak, and then he gets up. And I'm not going to say exactly what he said because it's a little vile, but he gets up and says, I need to go up to the room to go use the bathroom. So you could imagine what he said.
Gotta take a shit.
Stop it. So leaves her at the restaurant after he finishes food to go upstairs.
Okay. All right. Well, let me say this, right? We don't even have to hear anymore. What he's doing is, like I said, is he got the vagina and he does not need to court
Why
anymore.
do you think that this is all vagina based?
I'm going to tell you.
Why can't it be? It could be a slew of other reasons.
It's not, because he was so nice and he was the man of her dreams before. And I remember, I hear y'all on the phone talking about, oh my gosh, this guy is so this and this guy is so that, because he sold a story. He sold a lifestyle. He got it and then the real came out. Now, the bigger picture is, we could take it out of your friend. The bigger picture is, and this is not most women, but we have to be honest. A lot of women look at mediocre as great. And I'm going to tell you why. A lot of women get up in age and they're looking to
What's up
settle
in
down.
age to you? Let's be clear.
It could be 30, 35 and plus.
Okay.
Right? They get into an age where they want families. They want kids. They want to find the right man. So they're looking past what the man actually is and looking really at mediocre. So what they're doing is they're letting certain things slide because they want it to work so bad. And sometimes they get in their own way of seeing what the real is. And
you know what that's called?
What?
Desperation.
I don't want to say that, but it is desperation.
It is. Like, we have to be very clear.
In a lot of cases. So what they wind up doing is they wind up trying to push things to the side that they see, whether it's a baby mother, or it's a situation where the guy is not paying for something, or a situation where somebody lies, or a situation where you don't know too much about the individual. You see it all the time. And in this situation, that's what it feels like. It feels like, I want to settle down. I want to find this guy. She was on the phone with you. I hear y'all talking about how great he is and oh my gosh and this, that, and the other. And then it gets to the point where you don't see the realness
or
coming
you
out.
Overlook things.
No, you don't even overlook it. You don't see it. You have blinders on, or what do you call it? Glass-colored vision, or whatever you call it?
Rose-colored glasses.
Whatever it was. You know what
What'd you call it? Blind color vision?
It's a glass-colored vision. I don't know what it is. But I think a lot of people see that. So that's when you actually have to go to the men in your life and just ask an honest question. Whether it's your brother, whether it's your friend, not your friend that's trying to smash, that a friend that's going to give it to you. And then what you have to do is break it down and understand. It's the same thing with women, with guys. Sometimes you have to go to that woman that's been out there before, that knows what it is, that knows the tricks that these girls play, and have a real conversation. Be like, yo, bro, she don't really like you. She just really fucking you to get some money. And you have to understand and see what it is. That's not in all situations, but you have to look. In this situation, this dude is not right for her. He's not making her feel special. He's not making her feel in a way that she would want to spend the rest of her life with him or have kids with him or even take it to the next level. She's not. So right now, you know what she's doing? She's wasting fucking time. She is wasting time. Yeah, you want a little sex. Yeah, it's cool to be out with somebody. Yeah, it's cool to go to the club. Yeah, it's cool to eat with somebody. But what are we doing this for right now? If you know this is not the end all be all, he's just somebody in your way. And he's going to stop you from finding your next dude. So what you have to do is you got to cut the nigga off. You got to cut him off because he's not making you feel special. Now, I understand if this was years and y'all had history together and he changed and you said, well, you know what? Let me tell him what's wrong so maybe he can fix it. That's different. He ain't trying to fix it. This is too early. They haven't even been dating for 6 months. 6 months.
Well, that's one of my problems.
And that's the problem. So she has to go to a point where she has to be like, it's over. And I would tell that to anybody. I would tell that to Mercedes if she was in that situation. I would tell that to any of your friends or any of my people that I call my sis in that situation, because all I can tell you what I see, and what I see dudes do.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you don't believe it, that's on yourself, but I'm going to tell you the truth. And you can be mad at me. You can have an attitude, but I'm going to tell you the truth so you see.
I mean, that's important, and that's a good friend.
But I'm also going to do the homework too. I'm also be like, you need to find out where he lives.
Mm-hmm.
You need to find out where he goes on the weekends. You need to find out this, because I know niggas lie.
Mm-hmm.
Niggas lie every day, B. You know what I mean? So I know what it is. And if they can't get to that situation where she's at, then it makes no sense to continue to do it. You know what I mean? So to your friend out there, you got to be smarter. You got to be smarter. And I'm not saying that you're stupid.
No.
Because everybody loves the affection. Everybody loves the warmth. Everybody loves the feeling of being wanted. But if he's not treating you like the queen that you are, you might have to say, you know what? This guy is not for me.
No, she doesn't have to be smarter. She's identifying everything that went wrong, and we had a powwow about it. And that's why she was okay about talking about it because it's going to be over. It's done. Like, it's done. They're on their way back from Atlantic City as we speak. So, yeah, there's not going to be any phone calls. She understands he's not the person for her. She's not going to waste any time. So she doesn't have to be smarter.
Okay.
She's fully aware of everything that's going on. She does not want to be with him. I personally wouldn't allow it because I'm that type of friend, because I'm clear. Some things your friend may not understand because they don't walk in your shoes. But the things that he has done and the behavior that he's exhibited shows that I am right to believe that I am clear with his intentions. I can't testify that it has to do with smashing or not. I just know that at this point, he's shown and proven that he's just not a good fit for her.
Okay, well.
But no. But you know what? You said that it may not be about him being into her or not. You personally said that this can just be his way. This might be how he treats all his skills.
No, it's not. Because he treated her differently before they met. And he was all into her.
He may be that way. That might be his repertoire.
He's lying. He was into her and he's not into her. He made so many changes. He said all the things that he was going to do. Then when he got it, he changed on her. Mm-hmm. So it's not that at all.
But that's what you said the other day, though.
No, I mean, that might be his repertoire. That might be what he... But
you said that might be what he does.
Right. He lies, fucks, and keeps it moving. Well, that's what he might do. Get out of here. We're talking. We're having grown-up talk, sir.
Okay. So I do want to ask your opinion, and I want to save it for the next podcast because we're kind of on this trajectory.
Mm-hmm.
There was something that came out on Instagram a few months ago. Mm-hmm. And it was, what was the question? The thing about Applebee's, if a guy takes you to Applebee's or, like a regular restaurant for was it for your first date?
Yeah.
For your first date? Mm-hmm. Or Cheesecake Factory. Mm-hmm. for your first date, how do you respond? Like, how do you react? I don't remember exactly what the question was, but it was something along those lines, right? Do you remember exactly what it was?
I do, and we can talk about that next.
I want to talk that
podcast.
on the next podcast because, I mean, I feel kind of strongly about.
Don't answer now if you're gonna talk.
No. About courting
Mhm.
and how both individuals should show up in the early stages of a relationship.
Mhm.
And I want to talk about it.
Okay, we can talk about it next hour. Next podcast, I should say.
So let me guess. No time for an email?
Yeah, we should do one email.
We can do an email?
Let's do one email.
Hey,
So let's get to the email of the week. Hi, Gia and Envy. I've been a fan of your show for a very long time, and we appreciate the conversations you guys have. I'd like to remain anonymous. I've been with my girlfriend for about 3 years, and we share everything, including our past. But
Can we share everything?
we share everything, including our past. But over the years, she alluded to me that something happened a long time ago before we met, and she has been keeping it a secret. As her partner, I feel as though she should be able to share things with me, especially if it's something that affects or affected her before. But she has been saying she's not ready to talk about it. I've asked her 3 times to tell me what it is, and she says she's not ready. I don't know if she will be ready, but it bothers me that she doesn't feel comfortable talking about this with me. What should I do? Am I wrong for wanting to know? Is she wrong for not telling me? Thank you. I'll be watching for your opinion.
So I think that she probably told him that because she wanted to get off of her chest the fact that there's something that's weighing on her.
Mhm.
And she loves him enough to tell him that much. But clearly she didn't want to go all the way. I personally don't like when someone does that.
Mhm.
I think that you should have enough self-control to not bring something up if you're not going to tell me. Because then you put me in a position where my mind is going to swirl. I'm going to sit there and wonder, like, what could it be? Was she sexually assaulted?
Mhm.
Was she arrested at some point? Does she have a felony? Like, I would be thinking all of these different things, and that's going to create some emotional duress on my part.
Mhm.
So don't affect me negatively because you're dealing with something. Either if you have enough chutzpah to tell me that there's something going wrong or something has gone wrong, then have enough trust and love in me to tell me exactly what it was that happened. If you can't commit, then you shouldn't bring it up.
Um, I understand what you're saying, and I do agree to a point, but I don't know what was in her history. We don't know what's bothering her. Like Gia said, maybe she was sexually assaulted, or maybe she was arrested. Maybe it's something that she thinks that you're going to judge her. And when she feels like she has the courage to do it, she just cowers out and doesn't want to do it. It's very difficult. I mean, you're talking
No, it
about,
seemed like she knew that she wasn't going to tell him the full story when she started it.
well, maybe we don't
Yeah.
know, but it could be a situation where that thing could really affect her, and she's trying to get it out. She's trying to be in a place where she can get it out, and she probably doesn't want you to judge her, and she probably feels like you might look at her differently, or even possibly leave after
Yes.
hearing what it is. I would say give it some time. I wouldn't ask anymore. You asked 3 times. Um, I might ask one more time, like, "Hey, babe, I really want to know." If we're in this relationship, I want to know everything about you, like you know everything about me, but I don't want to force you to tell me. I want you to tell me when you're ready. I'm not going to ask again. I'm not going to force you, but I am here to listen when you're ready. And I would just try to leave it like that.
That's
It's going to
great
be
advice.
difficult for you because you're going to be thinking about it all the time. You're going to be thinking about many different things. Damn, did she get arrested? Did she flee from a country? Is this really her? Was she a prostitute? Did she get raped? You're going to be thinking all these things in your mind, and I get it and I understand. But if you really love her and you think this is the one, I think you have to give her the ability to feel comfortable enough to tell you. Forcing her would just make things worse.
Yep.
And I don't think you want to do that. I think you just give her the opportunity to be like, you know what? This is what it is. And until that, you support her because you don't know what it is. If she was raped, let's say she was raped, you don't want her to feel any way about that. You don't want her to forcefully, put that out. You want her to say that, when she does. And then you also got to be ready for whatever that is, because you don't know what she's going to tell you. So if she does say that, you got to be her support system. You got to be there for her. You got to make sure if she might need therapy after that, or whatever it may be. But I would just say stand in there and just, be a good companion, be a good friend. Put yourself in that predicament if something happened to you.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect example. Let's say you were raped or sexually assaulted as a kid. And now as a man, you have to tell your girl, which is you would feel it's going to be difficult to say, this is what happened to me. And just think about how hard it would be for you to say that. So I would just say, I would ask her one more time. And then after that, I would just, when she gets comfortable, hopefully it's sooner than later that she'll let you know.
I think that is an excellent response. And you know what I loved about it? That sounds like you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like that is you. Like if I came to you and I said something like that to you, that's what you would have said to me. That's very, very much a Rashawn response. Like I will be here for you when you're ready. I don't want you to feel any pressure to tell me. I'm sure that you're going through it. I'm sure that this is emotionally distressful on you.
Mhm.
So just know that when you're ready to discuss, I'll sit here, I'll listen with no judgment. I'll help you in any way that I possibly can. I'm here for you if you need me emotionally, if you need me to physically do something, whatever you need me to do, I'm willing to do because I love you and my
Mhm.
priority is you. Like that is very, very much you.
Absolutely.
So I couldn't have put it better. I agree with you 100%. And I
Okay.
appreciate that response.
Now, if you have a question or you want to holler at us or you need some advice, you can always email us, thecaseycrew@gmail.com. That's THEE caseycrew@gmail.com. Also, if you want to be a sponsor or if you want an endorsement, again, salute to our sponsors, Monster Energy. We appreciate you for always sponsoring. And also Lincoln Tech Trade School. If you're looking to put your son, your daughter into trade school to learn a trade, whether it's HVAC, welding, automotive, healthcare, definitely look into Lincoln Tech. And they have schools all over the country. All right. We'll see you guys next week. You have a great week. I'm DJ Envy.
And I am Gia Casey.
And that was another edition of the KC Crew.
Toodles.